Today, we are going to talk about Dscr loans. Hello, this is David Xie with the Xie Mortgage Team. What are Dscr loans and why am I talking about them? As you guys probably figured out by now, I really love investing in property. And one of the things that I've been really trying to do for all of my audience out there is just to really drill down and double down on, knowing what's happening in the economy. And one of the things that we're starting to see is there's more and more properties coming up on the market, and there's no better way to build multi-generational wealth than to invest in investment properties. But there are definitely some pitfalls when it comes to investing in investment properties, and that's financing, right? Especially if you own a lot of properties. When someone owns a lot of properties, that process of obtaining a regular conforming loan is extremely daunting, not only for the loan officer, but for you as the consumer. And that's why, a lot of consumers get to the situation where they're stuck with a loan officer they may not even want to work with because they just happen to have that documentation. So today we're going to talk about Dscr loans and how you can close on your property faster and sometimes even way more efficient on this. What is Dscr? Dscr is debt service coverage ratio. Debt service coverage ratio is basically the percentage of income versus your monthly payment. It's simple division problem. So if you have $1,000 a month in rental revenue and your monthly mortgage payment is $500, then that's 200% debt service coverage ratio. Whereas if you have a $2,000 mortgage payment and your proposed cash monthly rental income is $2,000, then that's a 100% one-to-one ratio. What are the benefits of Dscr and why you should look into them? So potentially quicker closing times, obviously. We're not going to have to verify all of your properties. All we're verifying is your assets that are needed to close, whether it be for a purchase of a property or a cash out refinance so you can buy more properties. There is no income or job history that is required to be verified because this is strictly just on debt service coverage ratio. There's not a limit on how many properties you can have. So for people that have 10 plus properties, Fannie Mae may not be an option for you. So you can have, there's no limit on the properties. Why would you want to work with us? Because I'm part of the largest mortgage broker, and number one, I can get you wholesale pricing. And number two, I'd be able to shop for the best option for you and see between all of our different investors, which one may work best for you. The loan amounts can be up to $5 million. So, hey, professional athletes, hit me up. I'd love to help you out. So you can buy a house up to $5 million. If you're not on a guaranteed contract, who cares? All we're looking at is debt service coverage ratio. There's an unlimited amount of cash out that you can get on these properties. So if you have a property that's free and clear, you can get cash out. As little as 20% down on these debt service coverage ratio loans. For a little while there, they were as little as 15% down with a piggyback second. The market's starting to settle down a little more, so we may start seeing more favorable loan to values coming out pretty soon. The minimum credit score on something like this, I would say, is going to be right in that 620 mark. If you have something a little higher, that would be better, but 620 would be the minimum. Now, interest-only options are available. So if your monthly cash flow is an issue, we can look at different options to get you interest-only options. We can also do these loans for typically seasoned investors, but we do have some options for new investors as well. So definitely hit me up and I'll tell you more about those. One of the huge benefits is that you can use long-term and short-term rental income to qualify. We've all heard of the short-term rentals, which is like your VRBOs and the Airbnbs of the world. Basically, any rental less than 30 days would be constituted as a short-term rental. And for the longest period of time there, none of these investors wanted to take on short-term rentals. However, we can use short-term rentals as long as long-term rentals to qualify. There is no reserve requirement for cash out loans. However, if you are going to be purchasing a house, there's typically going to be 6 months of reserves required on each property that you own. So maybe doing a cash out to get the cash reserves, which we can in turn use as your cash reserves on your future purchases, may be a good option. And finally, the one thing that I absolutely love about Dscr loans and why I personally get Dscr loans myself is that these loans can go into LLCs, okay? Single member owned LLCs. So that kind of protects you against any issues that may happen with that property, so it does not affect you on later properties or properties that you've acquired over time. If you have any questions on DSCR loans or want to know more about investment option loans, please feel free to give me a call. My name is David Xie, and I can be reached at 757-478-8493. And I'm with the Xie Mortgage Team at Xie Mortgage, and I look forward to talking to you. Bye.